acceleration. When we let it go in reality, there is no displacement. This is again where the extraordinary parts come in, because now stationary flat earthers have to clamber over themselves and sound exactly like globe earthers, because they require now an accelerative force that can accelerate a container, gas and liquid at the same time, at the same speed, so that no displacement occurs and it all accelerates towards the Earth uniformly like a solid.
But yeah, it's very simple. How I don't know if I can draw this out again. I'm gonna try and explain this.
Okay. Go.
If we have a force, okay, a liquid in a container, whatever, has a force. It's applying a force on the container walls. Okay, it's got pressure. Now the gas in that container as well, it's applying forces. It's all got a little amount of force. Now the impulse is simply just...
When a man you've never met before suddenly gives you flowers, that's impulse. Impulse.
The amount of force per time. Okay, so the force, so as soon as this one hits there, it's got an impulse time that it hits the amount of force. Compared to this, it's got a greater time of impact. So it's pressure, in other words. So that means it's got momentum, because to have a momentum, you have to have a force present. So when this thing's static and we're seeing all these little impulses, the only thing holding this liquid in is the container. So it's forcing itself on the container, just like the gas is forcing itself on the container. Now when you're moving this whole system, accelerating it, everything is moving in the same vector. It's got the same impulse. It's literally taking and accelerating at the same rate.
This is again where the extraordinary parts come in, because now stationary flat earthers have to clamber over themselves and sound exactly like globe earthers.
So therefore, the force that was attributed by this water is now the same as what the gas is attributing, the same what this container is now attributing on the surrounding system around it. So therefore it cancels out, it's got a net force.
Because they require now an accelerative force that can accelerate a container, gas and liquid at the same time, at the same speed, so that no displacement occurs and it all accelerates towards the Earth uniformly like a solid.
That's all it is. So when you guys claim, oh, this RDD doesn't exist, it's just you guys ignoring the physics behind it. Things accelerate at the same rate. Did I explain that right, Adam?
Sounded good to me.
Yeah, the solids and the liquids, yeah.
This is again where the extraordinary parts come in, because now stationary flat earthers have to clamber over themselves and sound exactly like globe earthers, because they require now an accelerative force that can accelerate a container, gas and liquid at the same time, at the same speed, so that no displacement occurs and it all accelerates towards the Earth uniformly like a solid.
Things accelerate at the same rate.
Sounded good to me.
Yeah, the solids and the liquids, yeah.
It's a special pleading. This is the parts they don't comprehend in their claim of stationary.
Something stationary, what gives it a direction? There is no direction with something stationary, Del. It has no momentum, no vector, no magnitude, no velocity.
They're making all sorts of sub-claims within that claim. Nobody, these flat earth debates, quantum eraser, these types of guru dipshits, do not address any of these things. They ignore them. They're trying to get you to believe there's a magical acceleration that can accelerate gas and liquid at the same rate so that it appears as a uniform solid. No human being has ever witnessed or will ever witness acceleration without displacement of gas and liquid. It's impossible. So they special plead, they're asking for a special type of circumstance. Firstly, stationary gives you no vector. Stationary now has to assume and request a special pleading of magical special types of acceleration that no human being witnesses ever in their entirety.
It's the same as the globus claiming gravity's a force that's not a force. It's exactly the same. It's just hypocritical and it's contradictory.
Think about it. If something is stationary, what gives it a direction?
Something stationary, what gives it a direction? There is no direction with something stationary, Del. It has no momentum, no vector, no magnitude, no velocity. It's literally taking and accelerating at the same rate.
When a man you've never met before suddenly gives you flowers, that's impulse. Impulse.
But yet they run about on YouTube trying to act like intellectuals. Well, hoodwinking gullible people. Because if you're listening to them and you believe in that tripe, you are fucking gullible. And you're shitting on true investigation. Stationary Earth is a claim. You don't get to just say, I don't experience it. You do experience it. You're on the Earth. You've got weight to your body. You experience a directional vector. Motion is the only thing that demonstrates it's the antecedent to a directional vector.
I mean, I told this guy it's just impulse what we're seeing. It can explain relative density, disequilibrium, and the guy just laughs at impulse, so it shows he doesn't even know what impulse is. It's crazy.
What was his name? JC or somebody who's a disciple of the high
Execrates.
priest of Umes. Yeah.
I take exception to you implying that I'm a disciple of Dell's, or even that Dell seeks discipleship from others, and I'd say, like me, finds that whole thing repulsive. I bow to no man. I seek to follow Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, HaMashiach, and none other.